some of the very same things that they were concerned with their monarch in 1776 that we are concerned with our president.
We are in an existential fight.
We are not going back to post-revolutionary war. No kings.
I'm not a king. I work my ass off to make our country great. That's all it is.
Well, it was quite a weekend across the country with the No Kings rallies in Washington and elsewhere. Let's get reaction tonight from Fox News chief political analyst Brit Hume. Brit, good evening. What's your take on the overall effort and the result of the weekend?
Well, the name of No Kings was kind of ridiculous. We don't have a king, as the president said, and if we did, it's not clear that protests like the No Kings rally would be permitted. This president, remember, came to power by running for election 3 times. His major program was put into place by a vote of democratically elected members of Congress. Kings don't have to worry about things like that, nor do they have to worry about the courts restraining them. So it's an absurd name. But on the other hand, they turned out a good crowd. I mean, in many cities there were, thousands and thousands of people turned out. If you looked at it, you might have thought it was a cross between the faculty lounge and the retirement home. But nonetheless, they're all voters. They count, and the fact that they turned out tells you something. And what I think it tells you is just how our politics has turned out over the last 8 or 9 years. It is all about Trump. It is about resistance to Trump, and it is about support for Trump. Support prevailed in 2016. Resistance prevailed in 2020. And his support prevailed again in 2024, and it's still going on. Same battle, same guy. I've called him the political colossus of our time, but he is the issue. Everything else is secondary, everything, and that's what these rallies suggested to me.
But is there a sense that Democrats, leadership, can coalesce the people, the numbers that showed up across the country, into a unified message? It doesn't seem like that has gelled as of yet.
Well, I wonder about that because I think what the Democrats lack now is really a positive program. We're for this, this, and this, and we think people will support it, and here's why. Resistance to Trump is galvanizing to a certain extent, as the weekend events suggested, but I'm not sure it's enough to win a national election the next time around. And of course, by that time, Trump won't be on the ballot. Continuation of Trumpism probably will be. So, but that'll on the Republican side would have to be fleshed out with a program too.
Yeah. Meantime, there are all these challenges to what President Trump and the administration are doing in the courts. And now you have the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals coming out with this ruling about the National Guard going to Portland, Oregon. Judge Ryan Nelson, the concurrence, 3 instances of domestic unrest during the founding collectively of the tax results support the president's determination. In each example, the president federalized the militia to ensure that the law could be fully enforced, while early actions involved the enforcement of tax laws. The tradition they established applies equally to the enforcement of federal immigration laws today. Again, that was 2-1 from that panel. We're likely to see more of these battles in the courts, Britt.
Yeah, and this one will be appealed to the full Ninth Circuit, which has a history of being pretty liberal, may overrule it. This is all going to end up in the Supreme Court, Brett. But what's important about this decision, I thought, was that this court made a distinction between the situation in Chicago, where the president has been halted by a court from deploying his forces there, and Portland. Portland has had some serious violence. That's why the Portland ICE office is boarded up, and it was shut down for several weeks. And the court found that the president sending forces there to protect that ICE office was a reasonable exercise of his constitutional authority. In the end, I think that may prevail, but there does seem to be a distinction between the two cities, which this court recognized.
Yeah. Britt, as always, thank you.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.